It's the Jim and Terry Show, coming to you after breakfast and fresh coffee, and Jim is back in the Hobbit Hall.
Baby.
So
I just want to say, wait, before you go anywhere,
I was going to get
because I am known for my Gavin and talking over you. I just wanted to say you did a great job in my absence, all your shows and everything else, you know. As usual, there's portions of it that I just don't agree with.
Of course.
But you did a great job putting it all together. So.
Well, thank you. It's easy to talk to yourself, but you do go stir
Actually,
crazy.
that's not easy. And you do a good job of it, man. You do a
the
broadcaster's job of
The
it.
left brain, right brain, talking
So my
to
compliments
myself.
to you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir. Well, let's give our audience an update. You were away for a couple of weeks. I don't know if you want to disclose anything that you experienced on your journey, but just, besides the welcome back.
It wasn't a wonderful journey this time.
Oh, boy.
I enjoyed my family immensely. My type of personality is I'm not giving enough, I'm not doing enough. But in reality, I think the best I gave was the fact that I could see my sons all talking together.
And you, as the father,
And
delighted in overhearing?
I delighted in that, and sometimes I had to go because some of the pool areas there have no shelter. So if they're all in the middle of the pool talking and I'm standing on the side,
You're frying.
I'm frying. But I wasn't upset about any of that. But that's sort of my emotional thing. And then, of course, my emotion is I always get upset when my eldest son goes away because I don't get to see him.
That's right.
I'll see my other sons probably this weekend, but him I don't get to see. And so that emotion it's heavy on me, on my psyche, I guess.
Yes.
I don't know what it's heavy on. But it was great to see. I spent in the ocean about 2.5 hours, and if anybody knows me, I'm not really that kind of guy.
No, you're not.
I was out there 2.5, 3 hours throwing a ball around. We saw a manta swim right by us.
A manatee?
A manatee. We saw a great big fish. We don't know what it was. Oh, we didn't see it, but we saw Jeremy, my son, turn around.
You saw the fin going through the
and
water?
walk back. And we saw
Okay.
and schools of fish swimming through us. And this was in St. Never mind. But on the Gulf of
On the Gulf side.
Mexico.
Good for you.
Yeah, it was on the Gulf of Mexico.
Cheers.
Yeah. And that was about 2 hours away, but a beautiful. Drove with my eldest son and his families there, and then with all my other sons and all my grandchildren. So all 14 grandchildren.
Wow, what a
my 4
family
sons, my 4
reunion.
daughter-in-laws, and myself. Just enjoyed. We went and had something to eat,
Wow.
and spent the day there. And I didn't get burned or nothing. It was incredible.
Yeah, you don't even look like you got a tan.
So that was the good part. The bad part is the second we landed, my good friend, immediately got sick. And it was water on the lungs and stuff. And I think it's because she has such a tolerance for pain and everything. I think her oxygen levels were low, but we didn't know. And then when you go in a plane and you're flying, and then you land, and when we landed, she was fine prior to that. Getting on the plane, everything was fine. Landing in Orlando, she got a little, fatigued, and then eventually ended up in the hospital. And
What a mixed bag of a holiday.
it was a mixed bag of a holiday, that kind of thing. The good thing is I did a lot of walking. I realized I could have done that here. There, I was kind of forced to. If I wanted to go from pavilion to pavilion, I had to walk it. And then I walked all the way over to Walmart a few times and walked back in, like, you're talking 32, 33 degree temperatures, bright sun, not a cloud in the sky. So I was pretty glad with my endurance, my ability to do that. And I would walk things like that, 4 or 5 times a day. So I did some good walking, and I wanted to do that.
Well, you had a mixed bag of a holiday then.
Yeah.
You got some walking,
and
overheard
saw
conversations.
Seeing the ocean was probably the best thing. And then, of course, my boys' families, all of them had whether they wanted to go, whether it be, MGM Studios or Gatorland or
The
wherever.
touristy stuff.
They had to do that as well.
Yeah.
And for most of that, I just stay back and hung out with friends.
Let the kids be kids.
Yeah, and I watched the hockey game down there, and that's about it.
Oh, no. Game 7. Okay.
But it was good. It really was. A little bit expensive because of the dollar. But the flight was good.
Mm-hmm.
Company was great. So yeah, it was good. I don't know what else
Glad to
I'd want
hear.
out of it. I just feel fatigued still, and I felt a little fatigued down there. I don't know if it was just the balance of vegetation or what it was that was different than Canada.
The
Of course.
salty sea air.
Well,
You're on
yeah,
the coast?
I went one day. I woke up deaf in my one ear, my right ear, completely nothing. I couldn't hear a thing. And two of my family members, one had to go to the doctor back, had earaches,
Wow.
ear problems. Me, I lost my hearing, and I thought, I deserve this. I don't know why I thought I deserved it, but I said I deserved it.
You have a tendency to think, that you're going to suffer somehow. God's going to get you or something.
I guess I
You
had
deserve
the
the
one
suffering.
ear. I had the one ear, and the other ear dead.
Well, you got two for a reason.
Dead deaf.
You can
dead
spare
deaf.
one.
And it didn't go pop. It didn't
Hmm.
do anything. Just eventually the sound came back.
Well, you were down in the United States, so I'm glad you referred to the Gulf of Mexico.
Yes. Well, it'll always be the Gulf of Mexico to me.
Are we just old school and we're intransigent?
No, that's rebellion.
You'll drag us out
Totally
of here, kicking and
rebellion
screaming.
against
It'll
the-
always be Gulf of
the
Mexico.
orange ruler. It's totally rebelling against him. I really, really don't like him. And one thing I did feel, everybody down there was wonderfully nice.
Good.
I only had one discussion once, and that was with someone. I asked them, what do you think our dairy tariffs are on your country? And he said, I don't know. I have no idea. I said, well, guess. What do you
Well,
think?
did he raise the dairy?
No, I think I did it.
Okay.
But I was trying to. He was probably talking about Trump in some other way, and or looked at me when I said I don't quite believe that. I can't remember. And he said, "Well, I don't know, 40." I said, "We've never had a tariff on your country for
zero.
dairy ever,
Zero.
zero." And your president keeps insisting it's 280 to 300% plus tariffs. So I just want you to know that that's just not true, and he knows it. And that's all. That was my biggest argument.
Well,
They were nice down there.
Mm-hmm.
They were very friendly, but I was glad to get back because you know why? I believe our country is the freest country in the world.
It's certainly ranked up there next to the Scandinavian countries, Norway,
We're
Sweden,
free.
Denmark.
We're free. There's no worry. You can speak your mind. There's no worry about guns in pockets.
No.
It's just we're a very free country.
Well, that's strange, that we do get the odd troll on our channel, the Jim and Terry Show,
yeah.
and the trolls, when we do get them, tend to be from the far right side, and they tend to be Alberta bound. And the
Alberta
one, the one fellow I
Alberta
was reading his
bound.
comment and went to his website to see. He posted videos. The most recent was 4 years ago, and he's a separatist, an Alberta separatist, and a gun advocate.
Oh God.
So his video began with, "Well, I was just out at the gun range having a little me time, doing what I love to do, shoot my guns." I thought, that's a heck of an opening for a video that you're going to post. So I know where you're going to go.
Yeah,
You're going to talk about gun control in Canada, and Trudeau's going to take away, because that was 4 years ago, Trudeau was still in power. You're going to take away our guns. No, we're not.
They haven't taken away the guns enough.
No.
In my opinion. Like, I have no problem with people having rifles and stuff. Lock them up like
Mm-hmm.
you're supposed to.
Lock them up like you're supposed to. I like that.
Yeah, but anybody having a handgun, you should have some nuclear special reason to have that.
You would think so.
And if you like shooting it at a range, then what you need to do is at least have your gun, don't buy ammo, and buy the ammo at the range, and you got to spend it at the range.
Yes.
You can't take it home.
Yeah. So we're a country of reasonable.
But that's freedom to me. To know
that is freedom.
if a guy runs into the back of my car, I don't have a worry of him coming out
With a.
with a gun and shooting me because I got in his way.
Yeah.
That's freedom to me.
Yeah.
Where I might get a punch in the face at worst, and it could be a super wacko and have a gun, but likely not. But the difference is you can carry them down there.
Yeah.
And so that's not freedom to me.
No.
That I have to watch what I say to you all of the time.
Out of fear that they're
Out
going
of
to pull
fear.
out a gun.
Yeah. Or if I've had one too many and somebody overhears me and disagrees with me, the worst I can get is a push over the bar or a kicked out. You know what I mean? Or something like that.
Well, the music tells us we're just about done yakking about things. The Jim and Terry Show.
We'll get back to real stuff after this one.
Jim and Terry Show signing off.